announcement.
Okay, I've got the time. It's 6:31. So we'll call the work session of the mayor and council for the city of Snellville, Georgia for Monday, November 12th, 2018 to order. Just to let y'all know, Roger will not be here. They were out of town this weekend and apparently he's been late getting back. So we'll go through the regular business meeting first. If anybody has any questions. Got the invocation with Reverend James Savage.
Right.
Kristen Horn, I did not hear back from. She was supposed to let me know yesterday when she got her schedule. So I don't know if she was going to be here tonight or not.
Okay.
Let me see.
Does anyone have Post-its? No?
I got a pen.
No. I just wondered because you had scissors. So.
Oh, do you still need them?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Usually I mark my pages.
So if she's not here, anyone here want to say the pledge? We'll let Eric. Do you want to say the pledge?
Yeah.
We'll let Eric. It sounded more like a command. Eric, would you like to say the pledge?
Do we need to write it out for you?
I can get the first few lines.
Okay.
Yeah, he just needs to get started, everybody
Our
else.
Father who art in heaven.
Hail Mary.
I've had a council member do that before. You can smell his breath from a long
Kids don't
way
stand.
here.
No, they don't even notice. But
Okay, we've
I
got
stand.
the minutes, no reports, public hearing. We've got the second reading for the annexation for Don Brett.
Who?
Controversial.
That's controversial.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
it
I
is.
was
Yeah.
hearing a lot of red shirts were gonna be here tonight.
And the news.
Oh, yeah, Tony Thomas will be here. Can't remember you.
So on that, we will need 3 different votes. Rezoning will come first,
Annexation.
then annexation, and then the land use.
Annexation.
Annex, like
Tony
alphabetical.
said rezoning hearing first.
He changed it then.
Rezoning
It's always, you
Yeah.
gotta bring it in first.
You gotta
then
bring it in first.
Apply land use, then a zoning.
It's always alphabetical.
It's always been that way, I promise.
Yeah, I think
Because
that's
Uh-oh.
you can't make a decision on a land use
Until
until
you
you bring
do
it
the
in. You
annex.
can't apply a zoning until you get on the call when we're done.
Okay, so then, under new business, we'll be confirming Kim Gallant as an associate judge. We do have to do that by council action.
Yeah.
Second reading for the floodplain management. Anybody have any questions on that? It's just conforming. Second reading for the utility right-of-way legislation. Anybody
We missed
good with that? Then we'll have resolution 2018-13, which is just, it's a resolution that will allow the city to reimburse itself for expenses.
I tried to be as simple as I could in the agenda item summary. It allows us to go 60 days if it's adopted tonight, go retroactive for 60 days because we've had some expenditures for design work with TSW and whatnot. But it is, Blake Sharpton said, you know, this is, and everybody does this. It's just kind of a homework to legally allow us to reimburse ourselves.
So this does put out to the public at this point. This is the first real public thing that we're doing that's mentioning the bonds. So you may get a few questions here and there, but.
And no amount has
Yeah,
obviously
that's what I
been
was just
set.
gonna ask.
This-
This
you know,
doesn't-
That's just a number, that's just a conservative number that he puts in there to max out, you know, our bonding capacity. It won't be anywhere near that.
And it does include the 3.875 for the cobblestone.
Okay. Then we have item E, which we'll talk about in executive session for purchase of property. Then I'll nominate Don Britt for the Downtown Development Authority. And we've got the stat representatives that were brought forward to us from stat for Jamie, Tony, and Kyle Emerson. Kyle's with the hospital. And with them being a Keystone sponsor, they like to have them on their the seat. And then we've got the JRM contract. Dave, anything on that? You met with them?
Are we,
Kind of just moving forward, I mean, we got our meeting set for them in mid-December, so.
okay. Yeah, when we had our meeting, they seemed agreeable to stepping things up and keeping things going, so
35.
Okay.
I don't know that, everybody seemed to think that what we did last year worked. So we're continuing to move along, and I think we need to give Lisa as much input as we can.
It was a good first step.
Yeah,
I mean, I think, we did a lot of things better, but, I mean, the plan is to keep improving.
I think we just need to keep pushing them. I think for too many years we went along and they just said, here,
Status
we
quo.
signed it. And I think last year when we said, hey, this isn't working, it was an eye opener.
Yeah.
It's definitely evolving, and they know that, and so it's, even what we have, what you're approving, doesn't mean in 20 it can't change, and it should, really, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. It should be ever evolving, so, and they know that, so I don't think that they're rigid at all. I think they're certainly open to it.
But yeah, I don't think it's that they were rigid, I think they got complacent,
Yeah.
and they just weren't really,
I don't think it was just,
Yeah.
well, we did this last year, here, sign, and away you go.
yeah. So I think it needs to go up another notch this year, and if it doesn't, then we'll look at doing something different. But not canceling, let me make that clear. Doing something different with the festival, not changing it. Okay. So that's it for the regular meeting, so we'll flip back to the session. Any correspondence?
No?
City attorney's report?
We'll have a need for a executive session.
All right, so we'll move on to our discussion items for our work retreat location.
Because of, Barbara, what you found out about the 200th celebration that evening of the 15th, it makes sense that we be in a central location, so I've sent a request to Tony and Chuck to utilize their office again. I thought that worked really well. It's halfway to the Infinite Energy Center, so we could. And you found out that it's casual. I mean, it's business casual.
Yeah, well, when, the chairman at the chamber retreat said, they were trying to make sure everybody knew that it was casual, that it's not a black tie event, even though they're calling it a gala. And then Charlotte Nash was saying, she said, let's just say you just need to be appropriately covered.
Oh, well,
then.
So
COVID party.
I think the
So
main
I-
thing is
I
they're
can't wear
just
my
trying to get
Speedo, huh?
people there. If you look at the actual
Thanks for that image.
invite or the information, it says, what it says is like casual dressy. Kind of like if you were going out to a friend's birthday party. This is the exact explanation. If you were going out for a fun night with your friend's birthday party, what you would wear for that. So, but when I found out that it was casual and that's the night of our, or the day of our retreat, I didn't know if y'all would want to go ahead and head over there after the retreat. They've got a cocktail hour that goes from 6 to 7, and then it is like a dinner program from 7 till, I guess, 9 or so. So just wanted to see if y'all were interested or who would be interested in going.
Sure.
Yeah.
that's fine.
Cool.
We're halfway there, that helps.
I'll go where the food is.
We need to,
Drink.
I know they've sent out information about where we have a couple of tickets. We just need to check on the tickets and make sure we're good there.
You don't get one.
And I guess
And this
if-
is
if Roger wants to
January
go.
15th?
No,
December
December
15th.
15th. Okay,
And we still have 4 days of school,
okay.
4 days of exams.
So that, it's a Saturday night, so we could have the retreat and then head over there and see.
So, does that mean we'll start a little late if we're going right? No? We're still gonna go 9 to 5 and then drive?
Drive over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we can get it all done.
Or we're
9
good
to
with that.
5 drive?
I'll bring
Tom's
breakfast
fine with it.
Okay,
this year.
so you don't want us
I
to
brought
go to
it.
Waffle House?
Isn't it easier? I'll go to the little barn and bring good
That'd be
biscuits.
good.
You can go to
Yeah.
the Peach
Yeah.
Cafe, because it'll be
That
closed
would
for
be
sure
much
this
better
year.
than the one I had at Waffle House.
You're
Yeah,
not
you
open
guys
till
had a
8
little
o'clock on a
problem last year.
Saturday. I thought they were open before then. Anyway,
Not on
yeah.
Saturdays.
No,
They open
so-
at-
Okay,
It'll be,
Yeah, Peachtree
Yeah.
Cafe will be closed.
yeah.
so we're good with the retreat, so I guess, Gordon will be contacting everybody shortly.
He will,
We're just about a month away.
yeah.
Wow, yeah,
Probably when we're within the month.
we are already pretty much.
Yeah, just-
All right, Butch, projects?
Town center progress. We've had a lot of meetings trying to keep people on track and make sure that all of the team members are cooperating and playing nice with each other. And I have to thank Eric Van Otter, and he's done a good job in keeping the county library on track and very positive. So we are, had another meeting today with all of the principals regarding the parking deck. And basically, I feel like we're ready for our our charrette meeting on Friday. I will hand out the schedule to everyone. Have your have your questions ready. There'll be a lot of good information regarding the three components, the three public components of the development: the market, the library, the education space above the library, and the deck. And we came to a good understanding today regarding the deck and how that will be presented. I think the potential developer and all parties are cooperating and coordinating things very well. So it's 8:30 to approximately 6 o'clock on Friday. It'll be a long day, but you'll have a chance in several areas to offer your input and answer some questions and ask some questions. So I think that's an important part of the process for the TSW team to hear from you guys and all of the major parties. So that's the next big thing coming up when it comes to town center progress.
Do you have a list of teachers you reach out to, or
I have the ones I've been reaching out to each time.
anybody from South, or
Um,
you want me to try and gather some, or?
Yeah,
We
there's
can
some
be
from
here.
South, if you want to add one or two more. I was mainly trying to focus on the business academy folks and folks that would be interested in project-based stuff on that
Okay.
second floor. But Tara and
Mhm.
Fran and a couple of people, Gretchen, who were the two folks from the garden over at South Gwinnett? There's two teachers over there.
Carla.
Carla Cosa.
Oh, yeah, she's really good.
So if you'd like to add one or two to that.
Okay.
Bo Ford is planning on coming,
Okay,
so if Monique needs an invite, we can do that.
If he's bringing the band
Okay.
with him.
That's what I know.
Nice.
If you'll notice, just a color commentary, the sessions in the morning are more focused on a topic. So if you're interested in those topics, come during that session. If you're just interested more in general contribution and see what's going on, come in the afternoon. And I would really encourage you to be there at the 5 to 6 time just to hear what the output is.
good deal. Talk about a long day. It's okay.
Has there been any discussion about electrical power in the garage?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
definitely. Yeah. And that's, we have an excellent deck designer in Brian Miller with CPL. The development team, they'll provide good input. We'll end up with a complete development, complete deck, believe me.
They're all thinking of building in charging stations and that kind of stuff.
Good, okay.
Cool.
Market library, basically, we're ready for the charrette when it comes to the library also. There will be a couple of layouts that Bill and Heather mostly will be presenting. We'll have a chance to have a lot of input there. Marketing Snellville, Brian's done a great job pushing the microtransit. I think I think our numbers have done well. Very important to the future of transit options in the community. Town hall meetings, I don't really have anything. We'll just wait on the right time and the right subject matter. The UDO, Jason and John and Austin are working closely with Caleb. I mean, we're probably, I know the coordination with the comp plan's going very well. Do you think, when do you think we'll have
Draft?
kind of a good draft on the UDO?
Once we've gotten a good chance to look at the comp plan and draft, so
Okay.
30 to 60 days maybe.
Okay, good.
Think out holiday time.
Okay, Grandma.
The roundabout construction, the comment I made is traffic flow is improving with familiarity. You know, we started out a little slow. People weren't looking at the markings on the roadway. We didn't have distinct cutouts for either the center roundabout or the turn lanes where you can avoid the roundabout. But I think over time, I'm Roy, you can comment from the police patrol perspective, but I make sure I go through there 10 times a day, and it's much smoother now than it was.
Oh, it gets better every day. You're figuring it out.
And when construction gets done and curbs get up and signage and lighting, I think it's gonna do really well. I can't wait to get on to the next one. Because it's gonna take two to really move morning, afternoon, rush hour traffic and weekend traffic, Saturday traffic. So, but overall, I think it's a great concept. The 78-124 project, you know, they're moving kind of slow. I mean, they still are not in the roadway. They're still on utilities in Clower. Still a lot of holes out there. A lot of piles of dirt. One thing we're working with them on though is the potential for our greenway extension going down Clower from Oak across 78. Hopefully we can work something out with them where from the wall to the street we can get our path, enough of a path to call it a greenway, and the contractor's working. They're flexible on that, so we're going to try to make that work. And they have been easy to work with. Just like us on the LCI, they've had trouble with some utilities, and it's difficult to get all the utilities working together. Business economic development really is tied into higher education outreach. The build out of upstairs, I think we've sent out the layout. Eric, have we sent everybody
I
the?
have not distributed it yet.
Okay, we'll
But we do have an approved plan for upstairs.
and the architect is working on that, working with IT folks, all of the needed consultants to build a space that can be that can fit into our 2-year construction time frame, as well as afterwards it's flexible enough that it's still going to be very usable space. And that's on the second floor, the storage area, half of the storage area on the second floor, the northwest corner. So I think that's going to be much better space and more usable space than what was potentially up there several years ago. So, SPLOST program, we have a SPLOST review presentation to give in December to the Citizens Advisory Committee, and we do that once a year now. And Joel Black, who is the county auditor who audits the SPLOST program, I think we'll be here next week or the week after, looking at everything, and we'll have a full audit review for you at that time. But things look, that the economy's doing pretty well as far as the numbers are concerned. Comp plan progress. The open house may not have been the most well-attended, and maybe not even what we had hoped for, but I think they still got some pertinent comments, and it's just another step in the process. So we should have the
Friday.
updated final draft Friday.
For the first draft.
Yeah. Ordinance development, we have the adoption tonight for the right-of-way ordinance, and I was surprised we hadn't heard from anybody in the industry, but like Chuck said, they're lobbying governments above us, and we'll do what we can do. SDS negotiations, I know Barbara at the IGR meeting the other night, they had an update, and I've tried to, I'll get in touch with Randy Meacham, left him a message to have lunch and talk specifically about police services. Make sure we can provide what we need to provide there. And long-term planning is, that's a daily, that's a daily activity almost. Already laying out the budget for next year, and we'll talk a little bit more about that at the retreat.
And I think I forwarded you all an email from Randy Meacham out of the meeting, the IGR meeting. There's a trucking study that's being done. I don't know that it's all that relevant for Snellville. Well, I know it's not relevant for Snellville, but if someone has an interest in that, they are looking for some people to be representatives on a committee, study committee. And what the deal is with the trucking industry, trucks don't really like to come through Atlanta during rush hour. But some of their issues are there aren't places to park these trucks for temporary parking for them to be able to pull off, take a nap, or do whatever, to be off the roads at certain times of the day. So they're doing some studies to see if there's some areas where they could actually create almost a truck stop, I guess, where trucks could pull off, along the route. Traffic's bad, they can get off for a little bit. So they're just looking for people to participate in that study group if anybody was interested. Just want to make sure you were aware of that.
Sounds like it's your thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like my, trucking's not my forte.
Really?
I waited tables in a truck stop. It's like 19.
So I did want to share that with y'all so that everybody was.
Thanks, Barbara.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Well, with that ends our work session. So, during the work session of Mayor and City Council of Snellville, Georgia, Mayor Pro Tem announced that certain matters should be discussed in a closed session of the meeting and asked council to advise the city with respect to closing the meeting